What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to a couple of subscribers. I think I already shouted her out, but I want to do it just again, just in case she missed it. Shout out to Belorn Davis for the donation to the channel via the PayPal. Much respect to you for showing love once again to Too Raw for TV. I salute you for showing love. Who said I don't have any female subscribers? Yes, I do. Someone got mad at me about crapping all over Cam, but she's an imbecile. We heard her talk recently, talking about Doritos and diplomacy, and the woman's an idiot, man. But look, I leave her alone because she's a private citizen now. Also want to give a shout out to the brother Aram for once again showing love. And this is a video that was requested by him. Now, I don't know exactly what podcast he's talking about, but he said that he heard someone on a podcast recently say that in their opinions, Mitch Richmond, Bill Walton, Tony Kukoc, Chris Mullin, and Rick Barry are not Hall of Famers. Okay? Now, there's something that draws my eye here, and that is that of the five people, four of them are a certain persuasion, and that the one who's not played in the Michael Jordan era. So this leads me to the conclusion that this person's probably a LeBron jockstrap sniffer who has biases. You know what I'm saying? One of those types that'll say Jordan played against unathletic white guys, some stupid shit like that. But I could be wrong. Now, let me say this. Rick Barry is absolutely, without a doubt, a first ballot surefire Hall of Famer. Any numbskull who sits up there and says that Rick Barry's not a Hall of Famer is a complete, total douchebag, ignorant asshole moron of the highest caliber. I suspect what this person's done is he's an imbecile who only looks at NBA stats and doesn't understand how the Hall of Fame works. It's not the NBA Hall of Fame, you dillweed. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. So this mouth breather who uttered this nonsense probably doesn't understand that you should include the ABA. Rick Barry played in the ABA. Rick Barry also played in NCAA college. He's the only player in the history of basketball to lead the NCAA, the ABA, and the NBA in scoring. But this mouth-breathing Neanderthal wouldn't know that. Rick Barry also led the league in steals when he was actually rather in the twilight of his prime. And you would have to wonder if he would have led the league in steals prior to 1973-74 if they had counted that stat. He's also, I hate to put race into it, he also holds the distinction of having the highest scoring average ever for a white player. 35.6 points per game, 1966-67 season with the then San Francisco Warriors, a team that he led to the NBA Finals. They lost in 6 to one of the greatest teams of all time, the 1966-67 76ers. But in that series, Rick Barry averaged, I believe it was 40.8 points per game. That 40.8 points per game was the NBA record for a finals until Michael Jordan broke it in 1993. Rick Barry also won a championship in the ABA with I believe it was the Oakland Oaks. I think it was the Oakland Oaks. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I think it was 1969. As well as winning a championship with the Philadelphia Warriors, the Golden State Warriors. Got ahead of myself. Went back 20 years. He won a championship in 1975 with the Golden State Warriors and a surprising upset over the 60-win Washington Bullets. That finals was the first finals in the history of the NBA in which we saw two head coaches of color, the late Al Attles and the late Casey Jones. Casey Jones, of course, was the coach of the Washington Bullets. So no, Rick Barry is absolutely a Hall of Famer. And anyone who asserts that he's not is an imbecile. Now, let's go to Tony Kukoc. Tony Kukoc was not a Hall of Fame NBA player. No. He was a solid NBA player. But the reason why he's in the Hall of Fame is because of his international accomplishments. They are unbelievable. In addition to being an NBA champion, three-time NBA champion, in addition to being an NBA Six-Man of the Year winner, NBA All-Rookie second-teamer, he's a three-time EuroLeague champion, three-time Euro Final Four MVP, EuroLeague Finals top scorer, two-time FIBA European selection, 50 greatest EuroLeague contributors, two-time Triple Crown winner, Italian League champion, Italian Cup winner, four-time Yugoslav League champion, two-time Yugoslav Cup winner, five-time Eurostar Player of the Year, four-time four times Mr. Europa Player of the Year, three-time Croatian Sportsman of the Year, Franco Bujar State Award for Sport, FIBA World Championship MVP, FIBA Eurobasket MVP, FIBA Under-19 World Cup MVP, FIBA Under-18 European Championship MVP, one of FIBA's top 50 greatest players. Won the silver and soul in 1988. Won the gold in the World Cup in Argentina in 1990. Won the bronze in the Eurobasket in 87. The gold in 89. The gold in 91 in Italy. 89 was in Yugoslavia. Won the gold in the Under-19 Euro Cup in 87. Won the gold in the European Under-18 Championship in Austria in 86. Won the gold in the Under-16 Championship in 85 in Bulgaria. Won the gold in the Goodwill Games in 1990 in Seattle. Won the silver representing Barcelona in Barcelona. Won the silver representing Croatia in Barcelona in 1992. How the hell did I screw that up? Won the bronze, in the World Cup in 1994 in Toronto. And won the bronze in 1995 in Greece in the Eurobasket. How in the world is he not an International Hall of Famer? How? Now, he's not an NBA Hall of Famer, but he's he's a, quote, International Hall of Famer. The International Basketball Committee selected him because that's what he is an International Hall of Famer, you dillweed. Now, Bill Walton. Now, we already know Bill Walton's career was absolutely tarnished and ravaged by injuries. But he's not in the Hall of Fame because of his NBA career, you low IQ Neanderthal. He's in the Hall of Fame. And I'm talking to that person on the podcast saying this nonsense. Bill Walton's in the Hall of Fame because he's arguably a top two, if not top two, top three all-time collegiate basketball player. He was phenomenal with UCLA. Okay? Him and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, in my opinion, are the two greatest collegiate basketball players that we've ever seen. And when he was healthy, he was the best basketball player all around in the NBA. I think all around now, when you consider his rebounding, when you consider his post play, when you consider his basketball IQ, his leadership intangibles, when you consider his passing ability, his scoring ability, shot blocking, rim protecting, I think that he was the best player in the NBA briefly before injuries ruined his prime. And yeah, I would include it over Kareem briefly. People got to remember that in 1978, he led the Portland Trailblazers to the NBA champion, won Finals MVP. Before he went down 60 games to the 1977-78 season, Portland was 50-10. They were well on their way to repeating. Remember, this is before Magic Johnson. Kareem was putting up great numbers, but they weren't winning in LA at that time. And Bill didn't have like a super squad like far as talent's concerned. Bill Walton was that dude before injuries ruined his career. But his resume, two-time NBA champion, finals MVP, 78 league MVP, two-time NBA All-Star, All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, two-time NBA All-Defensive first team, six-man a year in 86, rebounding champion in 77, blocks champion in 1977, number 32 retired Portland Trailblazers, two-time NCAA champion. He's on the 50th and 75th anniversary team, two-time NCAA Final Four most outstanding player, three-time National College Player of the Year, three times consistent first-team All-American, James E. Sullivan Award, three-time first-team All-Pac-8, number 32 retired by the UCLA Bruins, and first-team Parade All-American 1970. Matter of fact, just his collegiate career puts him in the Hall of Fame. So, you know, like I said, people don't know what they're talking about. Now, with Mitch Richmond, I will concede something with Mitch Richmond. If this was 25 years ago, I would have said Mitch Richmond is not a Hall of Famer because of the standard upon which I think a player should be as far as Hall of Fame. But we can't pick and choose here. You know, we've had a multitude of guys who, look, when Tracy McGrady became the standard, and I know this guy didn't say Tracy McGrady, then how was Mitch Richmond not a Hall of Famer if Tracy McGrady is a Hall of Famer? A lot of people can say, well, Mitch Richmond never led a league in scoring. But Mitch Richmond is an NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers, albeit, you know, he was pretty much done. He's a six-time All-Star. He was a 1995 All-Star Game MVP, three-time All-NBA second team, two-time All-NBA third team. He won Rookie of the Year, something Tracy McGrady didn't do, 88-89 with the Golden State Warriors, part of those Run TMC teams. All-Rookie first team. Number 2 retired by the Sacramento Kings. And his number 23 retired by the Kansas City Wildcats. And he scored over 20,000 points in his career. And he was that dude. And he won Olympic gold in Atlanta. That gets forgotten about Mitch Richmond. That matters. He won Olympic gold in Atlanta, and he won the bronze in Seoul in 1988 before players were, before the Olympics allowed professionals. So by the standards of today, when they're letting in, you know, guys like Draymond Green and, you know, Chris Bosh, I'm not saying Chris Bosh isn't good, man, but when you're lowering the bar that much, yeah, Mitch Richmond is a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. So that leaves us with Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin was considered the Larry Bird of the West Coast, the early to mid 1990s. That in itself tells you how great he was. When Larry Bird praises you for your consistency, when Larry Bird praises you for your shooting ability, and when you consider that Chris Mullin is a guy that overcame alcoholism in his life because that threatened to ruin his career, Chris Mullin is that guy. 5-time All-Star, All-NBA first team, 2-time All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team. Number 17 retired by the Golden State Warriors, won the John R. Wooden Award, in 1985, USBWA Player of the Year 85, UPI College Player of the Year 85, consensus first team All-American 85, consensus second team All-American 84, third team All-American UPI 83, three-time Big East Player of the Year, three-time first team All Big East, second team All Big East, Big East Tournament MVP 83, three-time Haggerty Award winner, number 20 honored by the St. John's Red Storm, scored nearly 18,000 points, dished out almost 3,500 assists, corralled over 4,000 rebounds. Won the Olympic gold in 84 in Los Angeles, and won the Olympic gold in Barcelona, so that's 2 Olympic gold medals. Won the gold in 1983 in the Pan American Games, and won the gold in the FIBA Americas Championship in 1992 in Portland. And one of the great shooters and players. And there was a stretch where, you know, Chris Mullin I think it might have been from like 1990 to 95 or so, or 94, where Chris Mullin was going to give you 25 a night. He was going to give you 6 or 7 rebounds. He was going to give you 3 or 4 assists a night. And he did it on great efficiency. And was he a great defender? No. But he was a really, really great player. And you tell me an American white player that has been better than him since Larry Bird. So to hell with that guy saying those not Hall of Famers. I think that's an attack on the NBA history, attack on Jordan's era to an extent. And when you got guys who are sometimey players like Zion Williamson and some of these dudes out here today, and you talking about these guys aren't Hall of Famers, these guys come out there and try their best to play. Now, Bill Walton, of course, his career was derailed because of injuries, but no, I totally disagree with that guy's assertion that these aren't Hall of Famers. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.